And we're live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Johnny Chaos Explosive Artist Special Edition. Because we got a special guest today, Mr. Johnny Chaos. He's a great guest to have. He's a cool dude. We love him for his logical thinking. He's always got some logical facts to be spitting out on stream, or no, not on stream, on Twitter.
Sometimes on stream.
That's right.
Back in the day,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he used to do Twitch.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. Yeah, you got how many people in Hexo's chat remember who I am?
I'm sure there's a lot.
Have I successfully faded away? So if you don't know who I am, just put a 1 in there.
Yeah, put a 1 if you remember Johnny.
Right, I remember you, but I saw you through YouTube because Hexo's the one that set me up with Twitter, Telegram, everything. Like I was some old man. He had to stand over my shoulder and. So I've only had like a Twitter since late February, I want to say.
Was it? Yeah. No, I had to I went to his house and I had to all right, this is how we do it. Because he was like, I don't know anything. I was like, these are the people you should follow. Here's this. Yeah. So
you don't want to allow that.
Yeah.
Don't click on that.
Don't be following that guy.
I'm like an old man when it comes to. Like Hexo is one of the most technologically inclined people I've ever met, and I'm probably the opposite. Like I can run Adobe, because I had to run Adobe in school and stuff like that. But other than that, I can, I can.
Well, he learned most of this. He's learned most of this. He didn't start out knowing this.
Very true.
It's funny because we've all through this time have developed new skills that we never thought we would use. Hexo didn't really use a lot of Photoshop at first either, and he got really good at it because of necessity. I mean, that's the thing that people miss. It's people don't just start out at the best, expert levels.
Right. Yep.
There has to be a need for it, and that push learning, like Richard likes to talk about, that push learning tends to be a lot better than typical schooling. I mean, if you take a class on something, okay, you learn enough to get by through the class, but if you have a reason that motivates you to actually get better and excel at something, like for instance, there were not a lot of people producing content for Hex, and Hexo took it upon himself very early that, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn the new systems. I'm going to learn how to use this OBS. I'm going to learn how to use, and it was funny because, I mean, if you watch, you can't watch his old channel now because they pulled it down, but it's funny. You can see.
You can go on Odyssey. You can see on Odyssey. It's still there. All of my episodes are still there.
Yeah, but you can see the development over time.
100%. I remember the first ones were like, hello, everyone. This is... Please check out hex.com. But then by the end, he was like, what's up? Yeah, for sure. And I always give him props for that too. It's a trip to have watched, you know what I mean? From the time before Hex even came out, he was into crypto. He kind of mentioned it a few times, but then watching the development over time. And then he was nice enough to take me to Vegas to meet you guys, and, watching the attention and appreciation he gets, from people that were watching before is really cool to watch. It's a trip because I've known him since I was 18,
It's like, what? My best friend's a celebrity? What's going on here?
I know. It's so fun. It's really cool.
Not a celebrity. But thank you guys. All kind words. Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny
himself.
Celebrity.
Yeah, look at Johnny. I mean,
you're arguing with me over it. You're like, dude, you're a celebrity. Deal with it. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm gonna sit in this. I'm just a guy in the shadows. I'm like, Johnny, everybody knows who you are at this point, man. You're not the guy in the shadows. He's like, I just want to be the guy in the shadows. I'm like, dude, it's not happening. You're on Twitter, man. You've got a following now. He's like, dang it, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
like, you're wrecked now. Like that chart you're gone down in the non-celebrity chart. It's got a huge red candle right now on the monthly.
Well, I mean, originally it was like I put out one anonymous video because I just felt like speaking out, right? And then I saw Hexo put out his stream, and I was like, ooh, I got to give him something funny to add, And he was making all the tone jokes, and I'm like, oh, dude, I've got the perfect thing for that. And then I sent him the tone beige.
Yeah, because we didn't want to get like sued for like
Yeah.
using his face or something, so we made up like some tone
Yeah.
base or something like that. I can't
Tone
remember.
beige.
Beige. That's what it was.
Tone,
Yeah,
tone as a
beige.
color of the hue.
Yeah.
Tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beige.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Holy
Yeah, that's back when you were
smokes.
trying to keep it.
Dominic with the Ninja Guinea, 369 euros. Woo!
Dang.
Thank you so
You're
much.
still on
Man.
D Live with Ninja Guineas?
Yeah, Ninja Guinea, my friend. Thank you so much. I just got Ninja Guinea.
Yeah.
Woo.
Woo, that
Too bad we
brings
don't
back
have
some
something
time.
like the little Ninja Guinea sound effects and everything. Dude, those
That's
are
always
the
good if you're
best. Those are the
Ninja
best.
Guinea.
Thank you, Dominic. That was very kind of you, dude. Thank you so much.
Very
That
nice.
was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, Johnny's been here. I don't know what day you got in, Johnny. Do you remember? I mean, day
before
one,
you.
I'm guessing.
Right,
Well,
I was
no.
watching in the
Oh,
shadows.
okay.
And
Oh,
I
okay.
put out a
Okay.
video actually before you, so
Okay.
but
Okay.
it was hidden.
It's just- oh, okay. Yeah, and so Johnny's been around. He's been around since day one, right? You got it in day one, Hex, correct? So
Yep,
I
all
mean,
the way up through the development of the changes of the names and the input and the telegrams and all that stuff.
Okay.
The whole year of development before it even launched. So I'm pre-launch, and then I waited. Like everybody else, the never-ending 4 weeks. We were making never-ending 4 weeks memes. We were singing never-ending 4 weeks. Yeah, over and over again. It went on and on.
Yeah.
Does it make it easier for you guys to wait for Pulse having gone?
No, God,
obviously,
no.
I'm like, does it?
God, no.
Nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it does. I know that when Richard says something, I'm just like, right, dude, right, okay. The guy with all the watches doesn't know how to tell time. I get that.
I do.
That.
I give the same timetables to my kid, to
He does.
people.
He does. He's like, I'll be there in 15 minutes. It's 30 minutes, and you're just like, you said 15.
I take
so
some
he's
off,
Yeah, and
So
I'm the
I
guy
know
that
better.
says it further.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We know that about each other. He's the
Formal.
short guy. He's the one that does the short time spans. And I
Yeah.
do the long ones. So, but yeah, I mean, so Johnny's been around since forever. He's been in my streams for forever too. I mean, he's done a great job. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter, it's at CCFX Studios.
Yep.
And yeah, follow Johnny Chaos over there because he's freaking hilarious. He comes out with these he does these kind of just impromptu, I'm guessing. I don't know. You probably don't have a script or anything. You're just talking.
No, I don't. I mean, I've just literally, it's like, these things come to me. It's like, how in the hell can I explain this to somebody even simpler? Because it just, they just don't get it, man. It's like, wow, and we get hit with all these stupid troll bots and they're like, hey, we're going to read the cover of this book and then we're going to tell you what's in the book. No, you're not. You're not going to pass the test, guys. That's a really thick book that you need to read to kind of catch up with us here. So, it's like smacking those guys around, and it's like, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to me, the weird shit they come up with. It's like, dude, look, hex is a code. It makes hex. The end. What is there so difficult to understand about that?
Yeah.
It
makes literally no sense. They don't understand it. It's crazy. It's
Bitcoin
and then with a proof of work change.
And they build these Rube Goldberg machines. Oh, you got to give us your money. We got to decide through our oracles what we're going to decide that we're going to assign you, and then we can shut you off at any time. And that's the safe thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why
thank
does
God for the self-destruct button.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then we have the maxis on the other side, which are like, okay, well, you have to burn electricity. Waste is necessary. Okay, how does the government make money? They push a button and they add a unit of account to a ledger. That's how the government makes money. Where's the waste? Are they burning big electrical equipment to justify the money? Is it inflationary? Yes. Do people still use it? Yes. So where is this argument exactly? Where does this Rube Goldberg machine have to come into effect where you have to have this specific miner thing that you buy from a specific company in order to enrich them so that you can run your electricity to pay the power bill so that you could have less money? How does this make sense? I wish that, and yet they still, but it's necessary.
Well, look at Luna. Look at Luna. Look at UST. I mean, that's what they did, right? And they were even telling you. I mean, we've seen a interview just recently. Hodldog just tweeted it out. How the guy Do Kwon was saying, like, we have a shut off button that we can shut it off in one day. We could be out of there. It's like, oh my gosh, dude! They were telling you. They were straight up telling you how bad it is.
And
I love this project.
As long as these platforms have good actors, which most of the people in the crypto space are not good actors, which is why they transfer that and they call Richard a bad actor, because they're all bad actors. You know, when the criminals are calling you the criminal, you know it's upside down world, right?
Right.
So it's just hilarious that they try to justify all these convoluted things. So sometimes when we talk about Hex, we over explain it because we get deep into what makes the engine run, and we just totally miss the fact that, look, it's actually not that difficult. You don't need to know how to build an engine to drive a car. Hex is a code that makes Hex the end. There is no middleman. There is no platform. Literally, it is you interacting with the code, no different than you interacting with the Bitcoin code, only you don't have to buy expensive miners for no apparent reason whatsoever other than to enrich these other companies that make that shovel, so to speak. You know, it's like the gold rush, right? The guys that got rich off the gold rush is not the people looking for gold. It was the guys that sold the shovels. And we see that the same thing in Bitcoin is they're trying to sell you a shovel. They're trying to sell you some kind of mechanism or some kind of service or some kind of something and get in the way so that they make the profit before you have the opportunity to make any. And that's wrong. And for some reason, they'll defend that stance, but they can't relate to the fact that, you know, plain and simple, Hex is just a code that makes Hex. It just happens to have a market value. It doesn't matter how many people come in. It doesn't matter who's selling. It doesn't matter what the price is. The code literally just makes more Hex.
And so what do you think about 10-cent Hex? That's the title of is Hex going sub 10-cent Hex? Do you believe that
I can't believe we're here, dude. I mean, with PulseChain launching, I can't believe that we're getting this kind of sort of second chance scenario. I thought that I don't know if everybody's out of dry powder or what. You know, I bought more at 18 cents. I bought a whole Bitcoin worth at 18 cents myself, and I've been in since the very beginning. So what's that tell you? That tells you either one, I'm crazy, or two, that I think it's going a lot higher. So that's my stance on it. And I don't recommend anybody over leverage or put more money in than they can afford to lose, or put themselves in that position where they have to sell. This is making money over time. There is no reason to over leverage yourself. Freaking Hextex put in his damn car change. He's a millionaire now. That's all it took. A little bit of vice money that you don't need right now. Just, hey, put it away. But you don't have to dump stupid ass large quantities of money in to make money over time. What you need is just a longer time frame. So I think right now what we're looking at is this right here, where people are saying, you know, they want it to go down to 6 cents. Okay.
Yeah. So somebody said it hit 6 cents last night, which it did not. It hit 10.14. The lowest it's gotten is 9.76. You might be looking on a shit chart, man. Use Dex Screener because that's the one that actually is got version 3 liquidity. That one that you're looking at probably has no liquidity. So you see wicks all the way up to $30 as well, or $100. It doesn't, you know, like
I've done that to you too, where I like text you in the
like,
middle of the night. And you're like, what chart are you looking at, dude?
Yeah, dexscreener.com. Check it out. And the 17 million, I think there's $17 million of liquidity right now. Use that one. The one with the highest amount of liquidity, that's the one that you want to go if you're checking it on USDC. Because if you're looking at these ones with $500,000 of liquidity and somebody sells, obviously there's going to be huge wicks and you're going to be like, what is going on? But it's not actually it's not showing you what's actually happening to the price. Because if you went to go sell on V3, like you probably would, if you went to ethhex.com to sell or buy, you're not going to get 6 cent Hex. You're going to get whatever the price is with the highest liquidity on V3.
There are some things that happen that aren't recorded on chain too. There are prices that sometimes hit that are not recorded on chain, just so you're aware. For instance, you might be able to get a large amount of money out of one coin if you know where to place it. So now it doesn't record everything. So here's the thing though. 6 cent hex. Let's say you sell your bag at 10 cents and you hope it goes down to 6 cents. What if it doesn't? Now you've given up your seat. And Silver has a list of people that sold for less and bought back 4 to 6 cents higher.
Yeah.
And then when the price started going down, they repeat the same mistake. They think it's going down. They give their seat up on the bus, and then they try to get back on the bus, and guess what? There's no seats.
They're rows apart. Yeah,
So
they have to get in the back.
Yeah, unless they're not even rows apart. They're riding on the back bumper.
Then they scream and yell at you, and you're like,
they're Dick Tracy'd. They're Dick Tracy'd.
They're overpaying for the back bumper seat. So this is what happens, right? So we get a lot of people in the community going, here's our TA. Oh, this doesn't look good. We're going to break here. And you're fabricating that you're making that reality. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The number does happen because everybody sells thinking that they're going to get back in. Then it's musical chairs. So everybody tries it. There's my 6 cents. And a lot of y'all are going to be sitting outside the circle because there's only one chair. That first person that makes that buy shoots that price back up, and you're all standing around there with empty bags going, what happened? I was going to buy.
No.
For a lot of y'all, you don't even know how to set limit orders. So in case of a wick, you're not even in a position to catch them if it does happen because it only happens for an instance.
Yep.
So limit orders are very important to understand.
Limit orders, I like providing liquidity. So if you liquidity and you're okay with sitting on it and waiting for price fluctuations, you can put in one side of the pair. Let's say you have USDC and you think it's going to 6 cents. You can provide liquidity from 8 cents to 6 cents. And then you can just be like, okay, from 8 cents to 6 cents, my orders will be filled and I'll have USDC and get paid in fees.
Yes.
So you'll be good, you know?
There's a lot of fun coming up with liquidity providing now that it will actually be able to be profitable on the new chain, as where Ethereum literally put the kibosh on all the DeFi and liquidity farming and such. They actually really just shut that down by cranking up their fees. It was more than hurting Hex. Ethereum's become unusable for most things. Mana, forget about playing their game, ain't happening. Gods Unchained ain't playing their game, okay? You liquidity providing and all that stuff, that got squashed because if you're making $125 a day in profit and it costs you $125 to remove it, you're not making any money.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the Hex stakes that got screwed. Is the fact that if you're staking for 30 days, you're not making any profit unless you're doing a massive stake and you're peeling off the yield and then selling it on the market. Unless you've got a massive stake, that cuts all the little guys out. So when Pulse happens, all of this stuff that was on its way to becoming very, very useful is going to actually be useful again.
Yep.
And,
including NFTs. I think NFTs will explode over on, and as much as I don't really care for them, but they could have another explosion through PulseChain. And it's like that, bring in all those guys. I'm fine with it, bring them because they get double. Like that's such a compelling argument to just like, hey, there's a whole new system that I can use my, protocols or platform. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a platform, but the everything you get your coins, you get your NFTs. Like it's crazy to me that it's anything but like everybody should be in here. This should be like huge in the crypto space and nobody's talking about it. Which means like you're so early, guys. You're so early. You guys don't know how early you are. Like I was excited for Hex and because I thought Hex was so like crazy and like it was ingenious. Like it was so like, wow, this is crazy. But like PulseChain, it makes so much sense. Like after being in the bull market for the last 2 years and having those crazy fees for like onboarding people and getting people involved in it. It's just like, this is going to bring a lot of people in,
And Explosive Artist, I love your art behind you here.
Oh, thanks, man.
And talking to you from one artist to another artist, I like to say that, people get this idea that they're going to make all this money on these NFTs, but in actuality, a lot of this is, kind of like fine art where it kind of becomes money laundering, right? People think, okay, if you're an artist, you just make art and people buy it. And that is so far
Very
from the
far
truth.
from the
Yeah.
truth, especially
Yeah, you guys are
especially these
artists,
days.
so it's like you guys know about it more than like people like me, and like I don't know anything about it. You guys are the artists, so I have
Well,
to
artists still have
like,
to pay attention to what like the consumers want. You know what I mean? They have to kind of keep their eye out. Like you're in the special effects industry, correct?
Yep.
Johnny. So it's like, you know what I mean? I think that's the cool thing about being in the art industry is that there's always going to be, you're going to find, if you stay consistent, there's going to be a niche for you. But especially nowadays, there's so many different ways artists are making money with internet and things like that. You don't have to go to a studio or necessarily work for a company. So that's great as far as opportunity, but there's also a lot of saturation in there too. So
But
it
there's a
can
lot
be
of great
difficult.
artists, and just being able to make
Exactly.
art and sell art, there's not. And it's just like I tell other people that are wanting to pursue careers in art is you have to learn marketing. You have to learn people skills. You have to get people to know
It's
you.
still
If they don't
sales.
know you, they're not going to buy your stuff. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. So, but this crypto revolution where everybody's like, oh, look, this is selling for $1 million. But is it? Or are they buying their own work to generate a perception of value?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
Because
And
what
people are
that
tricky
is,
like that.
look, my art sold for this much, even though it came out of my own wallet. But I can say now my other stuff should be valued at this. And then you hope for some idiot to do it. And sometimes they do. And then sometimes
Yes.
people follow. But that doesn't
Yes.
mean that any value is really created there other than the perception of value.
Right. That's why I always make that comparison between, crypto finding a price versus artworks finding its price. And it's based on who's into it, who believes in the artist, who, finds it appealing, all art's basically propaganda, to some extent. So it's like, is this conveying a message? There's a lot that goes into it. It's the same thing with crypto. Are you looking for, fast transactions? You're looking for anonymity. Like it seems like there are, Hex is, it's hard to really talk about anything other than Hex when you recommend it to people just because of how well-rounded it is and kind of locked, squared away. So
Isn't it crazy though, monetarily, you can have all of these skills and then your damn hex outperform anything you can do in real life.
yeah, you're like, I slaved away for hours a day.
And art is not really rewarding. But on that note, Richard's an artist.
Yes.
This is what people don't understand. An artist is compelled to create, regardless of whether you're making $1 million or $0.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between an artist and a hobbyist is the artist is compelled to create. They are motivated to create. They don't get a choice. They will always create, no matter what their financial situation is. They're just compelled to. And Richard is trying to create solution to problems. But again, why do artists create? Because they want to look at it and go, I made this. Mm-hmm. I did this. I made this happen. Not everything is. Now, if you're a starving artist, yes, you're worried about taking the jobs you need to take and you need to, get paid. All right. But if you're in a position where you are of a creative type personality and you are compelled to create, what do? What type of thing do you build? Because now you're not working for a client. Now you already are financially set.
Mm-hmm.
What do? What do you build?
Well, that's what's interesting with Richard too, because he'll even admit that part of how he interacts, in public or on stream or, it's based on I think it's still Richard, but I think he just kind of cranked it up so that and it's for a certain intent. He has an intent and a goal behind the way he portrays himself, and that's also, you know what I mean, indicative.
Oh, there's mind games there too. It's
exactly.
I forget what he calls it, but it's a top of mind. It's like a top of mind awareness trick that you play. You say something absolutely outrageous, and because you say that outrageous thing, now people think of you whenever that thing occurs. It's actually a cognitive thing. Like if you set your keys down and you're used to losing your keys and you go, and you're like, okay, where did I put my keys? And you remember that, and that triggers that thing in your memory where you left your keys.
Right.
So it's one of those.
He talks about that in his book. He talks about that in Sci-Vibe. If you read Sci-Vibe, he talks about how to do those kind of things about remembering.
It's mental hacking.
Like that. It's like mental hack. So
I didn't actually read that. I actually knew that. So.
Yeah. I knew it before too, but it's good if you don't know, like if you are somebody that is gonna.
I know it sounds absolutely crazy that those kind of sort of things work, but they do. And some of the outrageous things that he says is literally to live rent free in your brain. And it may disgust you, it may shock you, it may turn you, but I guarantee you're not going to forget he said that. And actually, the more negative something is, the more power it has over you. Okay. These haters, we are living rent free in their head terribly. Man, they will make 10,000 posts more than us. Why? Because they are so convicted that they just got to keep pushing forward. It doesn't matter whether they're wrong. It doesn't matter how stupid they sound. It doesn't matter any of that. They are on a mission. We have triggered them, and they are going to be out there. And you click on these people, and they got like 3 followers.
Right.
Well, it's like Conor McGregor.
And even if they don't have a following.
Yeah.
Small following. If they have a larger following, it's even funnier because you're like, thanks for the promotion. When somebody's like showing you, like, it's hilarious when somebody has the card that whoever sent them out, the cards that they get in the mail. I can't believe I'm getting a scam in the mail, and they take a picture of it, and it's like, you idiot, you just showed that to all of your followers. Like,
and everybody's retweeting it or something.
Yeah. It's like those.
Yeah, I get
Chase.
I get American Express. I get all these.
Yeah. You get all the the pizza coupons in the mail. Oh my gosh, those were a scam. Pizza Hut, you bunch of scammers. Stop sending me this stuff all the time. It's like, no, you're just an idiot, and you don't know that you're promoting our thing now. Like, when people don't realize that, when you're promoting it, when you're actually talking hate on it, if what you do is hate on something and then you think that you're gonna like make certain people not get involved with it, it's like you're doing the exact opposite. Because even if 10% get involved, like with that following, it's like, dude, that's 10% that would have never seen it unless you tweeted about it.
It's so funny.
And you're bringing awareness.
When you really think about all of it, it's like, oh, I got this in the mail. Somebody introduced the highest appreciating asset, you know what I mean? 2020, 2021. And then you talk crap on it and post it. And then you involuntarily shill it. And then you watch the price go up. And then you're like, oh my God. Like, the whole thing is just,
yes.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about the trolls a little bit more, because I mean, what they do is they're using scare tactics. They use simple words and no defense for it. Oh, Richard's a scammer, or it's a scam, or it's a Ponzi, or it's whatever. And they're basically just saying, there's a spider, right? Because the majority of people are going to react to fear of, well, I don't know if there's a spider over there, but if I don't go over there, I know there's not a spider over here. So I'm just going to stay right here, and I'm going to avoid that spider. So these people with like three followers will show up and go, it's a scam, it's a ripoff, it's the OA, this, that, everything else, and they just throw this stuff out there because people will hit that negative. And like I said earlier, people focus on the negative, right?
Yes.
So they focus on that negative, and that negative sticks in their head, and they're like, and so these scare tactics do work, but they're not clicking on these people to find out that they've got 3 followers, and all these people do is bring misery and grief to everybody around them, because that's what they do. They enjoy harming others. These people that like to make these unfounded claims and these quickie little posts, and they're not educated. So when we go in there and we say, okay, this is how it is, without calling them jerks, without calling them stupid, without calling them morons, because what they like to do, the other aspect of that is when they say something outlandish, sometimes it triggers one of us, right? And then we go in, you stupid mother, blah, 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 and we start going off on them, right? So then they point back and they go, there's the Hex community for you. Look at these toxic people.
All right.
So that's part 2. So part 1 is to implant an idea to scare people. Part 2 is to reinforce that with negative reaction, because they were able to trigger one of us. And when they're able to trigger one of us, they celebrate that shit. So that's where you really have to go, look, hit them with facts, and don't give them anything where they can point and go, you're toxic. Just hit them with facts. We don't have to, guys. We don't have to go through this crap where the war's over. Okay.
Right.
We don't need the swords. what we need to do is take the opportunity to open up that dialogue so that the people that are watching when we have these conflicts say, hey, this guy's a chump starting trouble, and these people here are trying to educate us. That's what we need to do. That's the best way to do it.
I like this comment right here. It says Johnny is talking about seats while in the bear market. LOL. Man, USDSC has been a play without losing percentage. Simple game. All that hold hex etc. equals losers. Only way has been hold USDC. Pretty simple. Unfortunately, you're not getting any APY off of your USDC,
$1 million, dude. So I don't know where you're down.
Well, it's not only that, but it's like your dollars are not going to get you any APY, my friend. It is only going down if you haven't seen inflation. Have you looked at the charts in inflation? You're wrecked, dude. Like it is.
Where are you going to put your money to earn 40% more dollars per year?
Yeah.
At whatever price level you enter Hex in, you're getting 40% of Hex at that price.
You're getting 40% more Hex every year.
That? Do you understand that $1 million makes you $400,000 a year if your $1 million equivalent is valued at today's value? That's without the price moving. Tell me where I can do that, and I will put $1 million in that too.
Yeah, it's.
We're not saying
crazy.
that Pulse and PulseX aren't a good hodl, but man, Hex is. If you want to make yield, man, it's pretty easy. Dude.
It's fun now to look at my stakes chart and to just look over at my principal and see what, you know what I mean? See what all that Ethereum actually got me originally, and then looking over to my yield post big, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to be too bummed about price points if you've been in for a year or at least. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people that ask me questions about dips are in less than a year. And it's like, dude,
and then they get upset.
I held for over a year and a half before I even thought about skimming off. You know what I mean? A percentage of my yield. So it's like, but after that year or 2 years goes by, you're just like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, facial hair chaos is a game changer.
I know. I saw that.
I come from the parallel evil universe.
Oh, great.
You're his twin brother.
So I'm getting a little bit more eviler as this goes on.
It's Johnny Calm. Johnny Calm. He should just come in with a suit and tie. You know, no skulls, anything.
I wore a suit
Church Jesus, Johnny.
I wore a suit at the event. But
no, I know. I'm just saying the parallel, another universe, Johnny. You know, just coming in reading those Bible passages.
You hijacked the DeLorean, and you're back. You messed with some stuff. You made some buys.
And I've seen Pulse, and the future is really bright. So let's get into this, Hex. So let's pull up the how centralized is your coin. Let's play this game.
Let's check this one out. Okay.
Here is the biggest argument that people have is that Richard owns too many of the coins.
Wait, hold on. How centralized is your coin?
Here
we go. It's the whole segment. Here we go. Actually, we can start at the bottom. Let's start at the bottom. This is November of 2021, so things could have changed. I haven't updated the numbers in
top 100 wallets own only 47%.
47%. These could have changed. It could be 40 now, and it could be 52. But it really is very small, and it's been small. Actually, it used to be like 45 back in like January of 2021. So the percentage has gone up a little bit, but from when I did this, I can't remember the time frames. But so number 20. On here, and these are all ERC20s because they're on Etherscan. This is all verifiable. Like I said, this hasn't been updated since November, so things could have changed slightly. But this is the let's go to number 19. You got BAT token, and look at this. 72%.
Wow, look, that jumped up a whole 30%, didn't it?
Yes, there we go. And this is like the top
BAT,
100.
You mean BAT, a token, has a higher centralization than Hex? How could that be?
Right. Okay. Phantom token. I don't know what that is. So I'm not, Shiba Inu. Here we go.
80%.
80% is in the top
100
wallets. 80%, my boys. And look at that. That's still number 17. We're still at 17. And we're at 80% already. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Chain link. Everybody's the stinky linky boys.
52%. In the top 100
Decentraland, when you're buying your property on the internet, then 81% of it is owned by the top 100 people. Just the coin. I don't know what that is.
It is called Decentraland.
Yeah, exactly. Uniswap, here we go. 88.39% is owned by the top 100. That's nearly 90, guys. So here we go. Matic token, 90.5, and we're only at top 12. Here we got 11 more.
90.5. Wow. Imagine
Compound.
that. And isn't that primarily owned by two centralized exchanges, which are Binance and Coinbase, that own the majority of Matic? Doesn't sound like people holding that at all.
All right, Compound. I'm not too sure. 1 inch token. There you go. The opposite of Richard token.
95%.
95.24%.
It's about half a foot short there.
Now here's BNB. Here's a BNB. 95.52 own the top 100. And people will say this is fake. People are going to say this is Photoshop, which literally we're in Photoshop.
Go look it up.
But this is all verifiable on the blockchain on etherscan.io. So
I just had to make it look nice.
Straight. So the success of Binance Chain that everybody brags about is because it is on their platform and they control and ration the prices in order to make it behave that way. Wait a minute. You mean all of these coins are highly centralized and that is what makes them successful?
Right.
But I thought decentralization. Well, you thought wrong.
Well, we did get Panda. Richard says centralization is good, though, because the best time to invest is when the founders hold majority. Right. But Richard, I think, was smart and made more than 100 wallets. Is what I heard. Maybe, Richard, the OA, probably owns more than 100 wallets. Is what I'm thinking. I don't know. But this is all on Etherscan.io. We're not saying that Hex is better because it's so decentralized. We're just saying, look at all these other companies that nobody wants to talk about because you've got BNB that owns 95% of all, the top 100, but nobody's saying, oh, we don't like BNB because of how much the top 100 people. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying but everybody comes after Richard and says, Richard owns too much and I think it's going to dump. And it's like, well, look at all these other coins that do have centralized ownership and have pumped to the moon and have gone crazy. We're not saying this is a bad thing. We're just saying that
Richard having
it should be pointed at some, what's that?
Richard having it all that is the best case scenario as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Me too. I think
because he is never going to let his thing fail.
His
and
baby,
we can get into this a little bit more because the OA has more purposes yet to come on this fork. Right. That people are not taking into consideration.
Yeah. All right. So we're here at number 8, 96% crypto.com. Okay. Icon, 96.36. Celsius. Ooh. Here's a big one.
98.10%. So less than 2% of Celsius is actually on the open market. Yep. Who would have thought? I wonder why it's doing so good.
99% owned by FTT token. KuCoin, another 99.55. YOB token, 99.68. Axie Infinity, 99.7. And Cosmos Coin, 99.75. So these are all the 100 owners. We don't. Solana is not on Ether. It's not on Ethereum, so I didn't look up all I could have done Bitcoin where it's 40 whatever percent.
42%.
So these were all just on Ethereum, guys. If you want to check it out, go to Ethereum or Etherscan.io. Check it out for yourself. Make sure like I said, it even shows it right here. This is when I did it. So they could have arranged themselves fluctuated, but they're not going to be much off of what we're showing right here. They're not going to be like, oh, look at Shiba Inu is now in 20% of the 100. No, it's the most and this is okay, guys. We're not saying this is bad. We're not I'm not hating on whatever, because it's the people with the most invested, these 100 holders
are less likely to dump.
They're less likely to dump. They're just like the OA. We're
Have
not
to sell
saying it,
less of their
but
bag.
nobody is pointing at these guys and saying you guys are garbage because 80% of Shiba
Yep.
Inu is held in
95.
No,
Look,
no, they're saying your guys' hex is disgusting because Richard owns it all. And it's like, well, first off, we don't know that, but look, like it's
even
not
if
in
he
the
did,
top
it doesn't really matter. That's
No.
the point.
I'd
It never
rather he
really
did.
mattered. The person, and Satoshi used to own all the coins too. Okay. And you don't know who Satoshi is. And for all you know, he could be a serial killer. It's like, you
Right.
know, and then we get these character attacks on Richard, right? Okay, you don't like Richard. Oh, he's mean. He says bad things. Okay. Who invented the hammer? Do you know?
Nope.
Is it a useful tool? Are you going to stop
Yes.
using hammers because you don't like the inventor of the hammer that you don't even know? No.
No,
of course not.
I even have a dance, you know. Like, oh.
How about the MC hammer dance? Yeah.
You even got the dance.
So are you going to stop using light bulbs because Thomas Edison was a dick? Because he was. He electrocuted animals right out in public. You going to stop using light bulbs?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
I guess it's all allegedly.
We've got
go.
all, you know, and eccentric people are eccentric people. They don't think and they don't function like normal people. They think on a different level. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes they do rude and crude and socially unacceptable things. But does that make them less inventive or creative? No,
I was talking to Hexa.
More creative because they look at things from a different perspective that other people aren't. And that's why they behave the way they do.
And
So,
do we, you know, I was attracted to listening to Richard because of his honesty and his willingness to be himself. You know what I mean? I've experienced my whole life people that had money that had to put on a show in front of people. Yeah. And I think in my mind, I'm like, what's the point of having money and being retired if you have to put on a show for people? You know what I mean? And the fact that he is willing to be himself makes me more comfortable that he's honest and, you know, he's a real dude. So, as you know, I would trust that over somebody who's trying to put on a show and be a salesman to me all the time. I at least don't want to always notice the strings when the show's going on. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like
it's like watching movies now, where it's like when they're like they're so upfront about it. And it's like, geez, dude, I hate this movie. I can't even watch it now because I just see that little thing. But that's you know, that'd be if Richard decided to go corporate mainstream, put on a suit and tie every time, and like you know,
because
it would just everybody would be like, dude,
it'd be so weird.
If you're just honest, you never have to remember what it is that you said. You know, and that's where politicians go wrong. They don't even remember what they say because they're paid to lie. You know, and he is a very genuine dude, right? You know, are you going to agree with him? No, you're not going to agree with everybody on everything all the time, no matter what. I can tell you that his marketing, it shows that it works. His numbers have increased. Whether we like it or are offended or whatever, it doesn't really matter because it's working. It's getting reach. You know,
Dominic, thank you for the $20, dude. Is the diamond? I don't remember the good old diamond or the old D-Live emotes anymore. Yeah, I remember the diamond going ding. Yeah, so it was a great time. Thank you for the $20, dude, or 20 euros. Thank you. You're amazing, dude. Thank you, Dominic. You're awesome. I mean, so we got a question here. OGs keep selling their bags. Let them, dude. Let them. Guess what? They don't get to sell their bags at $1. They don't get to sell their bags at $2 when that 100,000 hex at $1 is worth $100,000 right now. They have to sell it for $10,000. Right? Like, and allow people to sell whenever they want, right? Like that's what we're in here for. Well, Jack, if I said, bro, you've been in for 2 years and you made a 10,000x, but you can't sell because the community says you can't sell. You'd be like, dude, I'm selling my bags whenever I want. What's that,
much
Johnny?
for the no liquidity theory, right? You can't sell.
Right.
We're being sold on right now. This is what happens when people market sell. This is what happens when people don't responsibly set limits. This is what happens. Okay. This is what happens when people have more money than they have sense. Okay. And again, a lot of you people that are saying people are selling, some of you people are selling with them because you're freaking out. You think the price is going lower. You think you're going to get back in, and then it's going to wick down for a second that you're never going to catch. And then you could have just been on the bus the whole damn time, not panicking, not worried about it. Go sit on the beach and have yourself a margarita.
Right.
We've seen this shit 7 times now.
And I think that, there's a lot of people that you could tell they had Hex early, but haven't been really into the game that much. I think the real OGs are the ones playing it smart, not selling their entire position. You know what I mean? Not trying to live above their. Well, I mean, some guys, if they have multi-millions of dollars, it's very hard to say, hey, you're not allowed to go shopping today for something crazy. You know what I mean? It's
Should I do my confession now, Hexo?
What's that?
My confession. You want me to do my confession? Guys. I got a new Porsche.
Oh, it keeps there you go.
There
I got
He got a new Porsche, guys. You guys are wrecked. Look at Johnny's
guys, I bought a new Lambo. I got a new Lambo here, right here. Here's my new Lambo. I got my new Lambo.
What kind of Lambo is that? What is that?
One more car. One more
car. Is
car.
that Diablo? I love that.
I have no idea. I just bought it because it was a Lamborghini.
Classic.
Oh, okay.
What do I care? I don't even know what cars I got.
You're like, I didn't even look at the price.
I got myself a Corvette too. Oh, damn this thing. This fucking
wreck.
There we go.
There you go.
I got
my Corvette here too. Oh, look at that money. Look at that cash. Somebody's been cashing out.
Oh my gosh.
He's been cashing out.
This is my daughter's play money. I'm completely. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, dang it. I wanted people to flip out, dude. What do you mean you sold?
And guys,
I rest my case.
Saturday. My watch comes in on Saturday. I paid $70 for it.
All right.
And when it comes in, I'm going to flex it, guys. I'm going to flex it.
You're like, I can do math on it.
No, I mean, it's great, dude. I think that people are able to sell, people are able to cash out. And guess what? It promotes Hex even more. You might not like it right now, but when the price is going up and we're back at 50 to 60 cents, you'll be like, what a cool car you got. You know, like
everybody's happy at the top. They're like, ah!
Yeah.
Well,
like,
and what was
interesting?
Happy. It was interesting going to Vegas to see how many people did very well in Hex, no longer had to work at a 9 to 5, and then kind of devoted the time that they would be spending at a job to promoting Hex in some way. Whether it was, you know what I mean, creating these mail out things or stickers or, you know, it's really cool to watch. So like, this is my job now.
And listen, guys, Johnny still works. He's still working where he's, you know, it's not like he's just like, peace out, guys. I'm out. You know,
RG3.
Like,
RG3 still working.
Like, yeah, like a lot of these guys still work 9 to 5,
Nardo.
even though they've made 10,000 X returns. And they're like, you know, I'm still going to work because that's, you know, I'm going to continue to buy Hex. That's awesome.
And
I think that's like,
you are too. It's kind of difficult to make a transition. I mean, I traveled more because of Hex than I would normally. You know, I actually, you know, I mean, Hexo, you know, you're kind of an introvert too. I mean, I'm an introvert. Yeah. You're an introvert. This whole Hex thing has actually made us go out of our boundaries of where we would normally be and actually into the public where we don't like to be, just because we want to. It's like having this ultimate cheat code that just isn't fair to have. You know, you want to share that with other people. You want them to have the same, you know, same experience that you did. Why is it fair for us to benefit from this and just, you know, keep it quiet? You know, I could have just as easily never got in front of the camera. I mean, I don't have a channel. I'm not trying to build a following. I don't want a following. I keep saying I'm not popular. And you know, then occasionally I get drawn into things, you know. But I mean, this one I don't mind because just wanted to come hang out, and I still call you up and harass you every now and then. So
the Hexillionaire, thank you for the $2. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it. I must say, I like the stories of the humility more than the $10 million watch collection flex. You know, and the thing is Richard, he's doing what he does, right? Like he's going to figure out what he does, and if he thinks flexing. And guys, guess what? He's not selling Hex. He's not selling Hex to buy those things. You guys do realize that, right? Like he has Ethereum from when the adoption amplifier happened. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars now because of the sacrifice. You know, and I don't know if it's his
billions
or whatever, but like he's got millions. He doesn't have to sell Hex ever. Like it's okay. But I get why I
prefer him to have it also.
People like humility, but people also like it like me and at first Richard and I got called like the light and the dark side of Star Wars, you know, where I tried to be the humble guy and Richard's this flashy guy. like that. And so like that, I've always just been that kind of person, just a humble person. I'm glad for the things I have and everything like that. And so is Richard. But Richard wants to convey a different message to
He's got a purpose.
Get more people. He has yeah. And he has money to do it. I don't have that kind of money.
Because
if I spent $10 million, I'd be done.
Same with Richard. If you watch his videos from way back in the day, and then even like the first year crypto was out, or Hex was out, I'm sorry. He wasn't flexing like that. Like,
no, he was humble.
And I think he really is, but it's like, you know, he'll even tell you what he's doing by, you know what I mean, flexing like this. And it does pay off. People are drawn to that lavish, you know. What happened? I saw a crypto surfer comment.
He said that he's affording nice things for my mom. Thank you. She needs them. He needs them. Crypto surfer.
I saw it disappear right away.
and confession, my Lamborghini, my Porsche, my Corvette, I had before Hex. So you know, actually, I've had them for over 15 years, and the reason I hold on to them is because I don't give my shit away for cheap. So y'all want to give your shit away for cheap? Go ahead. I wait until the price appreciates before I decide to part with anything.
That's the thing. I have my newest vehicle is a 95. How about that, y'all? A 95.
Yeah, that's his newest vehicle. Know? After the PP chat, is it true that Richard is changing PulseChain to proof of snake? Okay, we got some funny guys in the chat today. I see we got some real comedians
just slinging them out there. Ooh, we gotta do you're doing a laugh you lose pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to do the you laugh you lose tomorrow. I'll record it either tonight or tomorrow morning. So if you're go to Hexo Memes, the Telegram chat. I have it. It's tagged to my Twitter. So just go to my top of my Twitter, and that should get you there.
Look at Franklin
about humility. See let's see. Hex. Oh yeah, it looks good. Franklin looks good, man. Hex, so you're not humble. I'm on to you about that $5 million potato farm.
Hex Nurse made potatoes. Hex Nurse. I tell you what, Idaho does not mess around with. I thought it was just a gimmick, like a joke. You know. But Hex will take a bite at a restaurant if it's not in Idaho. He'll take a bite of potatoes and be like, disgusting. He'll be able to tell what it is.
They're fake, dude. They're all fake. So is Hex dead? Hex was or is amazing. Why would it be any kind of trouble? It's not, dude. Like, some people are going to cash out because they're getting nervous. They see other people cashing out. They see big bags. They hear this Rackham FUD where they think he's going to cash out. There's a lot of like FUD, and you got to look at the macro level of economics too.
Yeah.
The Fed,
Knightley was running his garbage.
Right.
Go back to Big Payday and remember Knightley. Knightley wanted everybody to sell before Big Payday. The chart looks exactly like it did right now. Same garbage exactly. Go back in the chart, look at it. Same exact fractal, same exact situation. People not knowing what they're doing, running around with chickens like their heads cut off. And then look what happened after Big Payday.
Yep.
And then tell me, do you really want to be out right now? Do you really want to be without a seat right now?
At least just wait till after Pulse is what I would recommend. I'm not a financial advisor, but hey, you're getting a double. How's that?
Can't wait to watch Hex do a Luna. Okay, man. You might be waiting a while.
Don't hold your breath.
Because you might be passing out.
Hex cannot do a Luna. This is what people don't understand. Okay, you're watching the chart. Again, here's part of that centralization that people don't get. You cannot dump the price below 6 cents and hold it. You can't. It'll get bought back up. You know why? Because a store is or a company is going to buy back their own stock before they let it get devalued. That's why. So good luck on that. That's what those limit orders are set for, is to catch people that decide to dump and exit the situation, and then it will return to normal. It can't. Now if you have 50% of the supply out there, can you force the price down farther? Yes. Right. No. Can you with only 10% of the total supply? No. So quit thinking that you're going to be able to force that price down to these single cent levels, because it ain't going to happen. Rackham can dump his whole bag right now. He ain't going to dump that price down by himself nowhere near 6 cents. Okay.
Right.
It's not
So
going to happen.
we got somebody that said that his newest car, he does have he's got a Ford, a 95 Ford, and then
A
what?
Chevy. It's a GMC.
Or Chevy, excuse me. 95.
Yeah, and then
And what's
my
your other
other,
car?
I have a 93 Lexus SC300.
Yeah, it's true. Those are the
It's
only
true.
cars he has. It's not a lie.
I
And
mean,
he's an
and the
OG
only-
Hexagon too. He doesn't
And the only
buy
reason
new
why I
cars.
have
He just doesn't-
no, I like wrenching on my old stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to
Like-
troubleshoot. My daughter's in love with my truck. It's like a big lifted truck. But and the thing is, it's like I only have 2 cars to live in Colorado. Like my truck just gets ridiculous gas mileage, but my cars use this in the snow. So you know what I mean? But yeah,
He's
less than
smart.
10.
He's smart about what he does. He doesn't blow his money on new cars. It's fancy things. He's humble. He just lives his life.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like
Just
you
a
don't
dad.
have,
Just
you
a
don't
dad
live.
here.
Yeah, you don't live a lavish life. You just live like a normal person, but you're a Hex OG, which makes some people go, "Oh my gosh, he's got tons of money." I'm not saying how much money he's got. I'm just saying that he's a Hex OG and he lives very humbly.
My thing is I want to make it last. You know what I mean? I want to play the game smart, and I don't want to give it. I feel like as long as we grow up, we've seen people that get money and wreck it somehow, whether it's celebrities and their taxes
Right.
And I think that'd be heartbreaking to finally find something or make such a breakthrough, and then just to kind of mess it up with your own craziness.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's kind of what we talk about. We talk about that we don't want this to be you see those guys, and I've known one of my ex brother-in-law. My sister was married to a football player who had millions of dollars. He got millions of dollars signing contracts, and
for the
he
Vikings.
blew. Yeah, he played for the Vikings. He blew it in like a couple of years, probably like 2 or 3 years. And it was it was like he had nothing. He didn't have a car. He didn't have a house. He didn't
he
have
wasn't playing
anything.
anymore, so it's
He
not
wasn't.
like
Oh yeah, he got sick. He couldn't play anymore, so he just got cut from the team. And it's like, well, now he has to go back to work. So it's like I've seen it where people get millions of dollars, and people are like wanting to get around this guy, and he's the coolest person. And now it's like, he just has to work like a normal person because now he's lost all this money. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Saving is very important. This is the part everyone thinks that investing. They say investing, but really that word is substituted for the word trading, and trading means risk. Saving is not risk. Saving is you are adding to your pile, and saving went out of usage because banks were no longer paying any kind of yield. So savings just became very obsolete, and people don't understand the power of saving because you are adding chips to your chips. Right. Maybe those chips go up and down in price, but every day you're adding chips to your pile. So when they do go up in value, you have more than you started with. Your dollars are not making any more dollars sitting in the bank. It's amazing to watch these people dump for USDC, realizing that the dollar, it's pegged to the dollar, and the dollar is losing traction. Things are going up in price, and they are losing money by removing their money from Hex into the USD, thinking that they're winning because they got $1 million.
Yep.
Lump sum lottery mentality. You're going to lose it all because you had the best savings account you could ever possibly imagine or even come up with to build yourself. There is no better savings account that you can have, and that's necessary. You have to have income that is making money for you when you can't. I'm an artist. I run my business. If I don't work, I don't get paid.
Right.
I don't get vacation. If I take time off, I don't get paid. Athletes, if they can't compete, they don't get paid.
Right.
All of your money can go away in an instant. And if you don't build up some sort of passive income that doesn't require you to juggle knives to get it, then you need to hold on to that. I don't know what else to tell people.
This is a good one. Frankly, the whole point is to stay rich, not flaunt it. Exactly, dude. And listen, some people are, they're astronomically wealthy and they've made $100 million or $200 million or, $1 billion in Hex. Like, let those guys flaunt it. But
oh, dude,
like,
I appreciate
it.
It's
also, it's a dichotomy. Like, it's okay to, but it's also like, if you're spending outside of your means to like flaunt it in front of a bunch of people, and you're overspending, and like, you know, you're never going to make your money back on this thing, or if Hex does goes to zero, then you might like you're probably doing it wrong. You are
buy the Ferrari for you. And I dude, I'm not against stuff like that. You know me.
Right.
I think expensive stuff is cool, just like everybody else. You know,
If it makes you happy,
Right.
do it.
but I'm not. You know, it's not something that's.
But you'll find out it doesn't make you happy.
That, but it's
real quick.
But it's more like I have other things on my mind right now than to be, you know. So
none of us are getting out of this alive, guys. None of us are getting out of this alive, right? It really doesn't matter who has the biggest bank account when you die. What matters is what you leave behind. The people that you impact, the people that you help, the people that appreciate what you've done. That's what matters. That's what people remember. Nobody gives a shit about how many zeros you have in your bank account when you're dead, other than maybe your relatives who are going to kill each other over it so that they get their fair share. You know, that's the thing. And people don't understand in crypto because it's all a bunch of grifters, man. You know, they're looking for their quick fix, their quick hit, their quick in and out scenario. And that's how crypto has always been. And they don't understand why anybody would build something, one, to be proud of it, and to have the bragging rights of saying, I built the best thing ever. Or why anybody would build something that would actually help other people and prevent them from getting into other scams.
Especially if they have that much money. It's like,
you know. Yeah. I mean, why do that? Richard did not have to build PulseChain. You want conviction? He could walk away right now with your money. You would have absolutely zero legal recourse whatsoever. So why did he hire the devs and put all this time and effort in? And why does it keep getting delayed to make sure that it's right before it hits market? Because he wants it to be perfect. Because he doesn't want to give haters 1 inch to go, it doesn't work here. You got a bug. He's not giving them 1 inch, not a single fraction of an inch where they can even say anything that is true. Now, mind you, they'll say plenty of stuff that's untrue, but he's not going to give them a leg to stand on as far as anything, because he wants to do what hasn't been done, period.
Yep.
He wants to do it so he can say, I did it. You know, it's like the same thing. I got a giant dragon out here. I don't know if you guys call it my post. I got a giant dragon out of here. I did not build that for a client. I built that for me. I built that for me so I could say that I could. And I also built it because it's the only one in the world.
That's true. That's true.
That's why I built it. Not because it was going to make me money, just for the sake of doing it. And builders do those kind of things. Grifters who have to depend on their sponsors to pay them because they have no real skills of their own. Yeah, they don't quite grasp that concept of people
kind of just an employee at that point for the most part. But can I show something real quick? Because I swore to my daughter that I would. These little kids at her school are making Hex stuff
out of little dots. That's awesome.
This one says this one has your Christian name on here, so I'm gonna cover it. It says Hexologist. I think it's funny because my daughter got her buddies to do this, like at school. I'm gonna cover this one.
There you go. They're beautiful, beautiful.
I just think it's funny because
little explosive artist. That's what I'm calling.
She wants to be Hex Rose. I don't know if there's a.
There we go.
And then, but I just thought it was interesting because she shows it to me. She's all proud of it, you know. And I'm like, "That's awesome, dude." And she's like, Miss Pickert did, you know, her teacher didn't even know of what Hex was, and I was like, interesting. You're kind of shilling this to your teachers.
Dude, my daughter has shilled it. My daughter has shilled it.
Right? Doesn't she have like a Hex backpack?
She has a Hex backpack. She
takes
wears
to school
Hex everywhere. Yeah. Like I made her, like I got it off of Redbubble. I made it, and it's just a logo, and it's printed all over there. And people really ask me, and I go up to her school. I have hex.com on the side of the car. Like, dude, I'm shilling it all the time, and that's one of the things people don't realize. With these flexes, it allows you to look very wealthy to people that will go, oh my gosh, that guy's got a Ford Explorer ST, and it's like, and it's not that expensive of a car, and it's a family car, but it's like I put magnets on the side that say hex.com, highest appreciating asset of 2021 and 2020, and it's like people look at it, and I swear he went to California with me. We had people pulling us over saying,
I was gonna
"Oh
ask
my
you if you
gosh,
asked
I got
toll
into
driving.
PulseChain. I got Pulse." You know, it's like I get that all
In
the time here.
California. Like neither of us are
California.
from California. We were on the 5, like one of
Yeah.
the busiest highways in the country. And,
Yeah,
and
and
we
they're like,
happened,
you
and
know,
some guy happened to roll their window down at us and asked us about Hex and Pulse. And
yeah, and
he
those
said he
are people that
sacrificed.
have just pulled us over. You know, these
Just
are
random.
people that had like randomly, like just imagine how many people are seeing it. That you know, and not only that, but you said something, explosive artist, is when you saw that guy pulled me over, like you legit saw it, it gave you confidence in the product.
Oh, dude,
that
it's
people
so
are
encouraging.
actually like, so and that and like that and with that, it also gives other people that see it on the road confidence that they're like, oh my gosh, there is other people into this. So everybody should be rolling with a magnet or whatever on their car or whatever you want to do, just shilling it, because it really does bring confidence to the product and people.
Maybe we should start working on some.
Oh, I have that one that people can download.
Like
you can download it for free. Like if you want, guys, I have a Photoshop thing or a PNG that you could download. You go to the same sticker place that I went to make it. It takes 5 minutes. You throw it in there. You throw in like, you know, whatever the size is, and then they send it to you. You know, I bought like 6 of them for $100, and so like it's a great way to show everybody. You know, like.
The biggest problem we have is the normies get frustrated as soon as they come into the space, right?
Yeah.
When they're greeted with a $200 Ethereum gas fee or a centralized exchange that's charging them big bucks, and then they have to move it, and all their money gets eaten up. So it's really hard, because what happens is people will try something once, and if they have a bad experience, they don't do it again.
Agreed.
You know, if you go to a restaurant and you have a bad experience at that restaurant, the likelihood that you're going to go there again is very low. So this is one of the things with, you know, advertising and Hex is that's a problem at the current point, is we might be sending people there, but they might have a bad experience and, you know, just dismiss it from that point. So we kind of need our on-ramps set to where it becomes easier to onboard, where we don't have to lead them through the path, you know, before we spend, you know, large amounts of advertising. Once we have a way, you know, and that's kind of what Staker app was trying to head towards, was that easy onboarding. And then unfortunately ramp and transact work half the time. And, you know, we've got issues with that. So it wasn't the one-stop solution that we were hoping for. So the better our on-ramps become, because there is this level of expertise or level of knowledge that's required to even know how to get in crypto to begin with. And then Hex becomes its own thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude,
true.
Now, the thing that contradicts this is, you know, we've got plenty of people that don't even know how to set a limit order, right? We've got plenty of people that don't know what orders and bid ask spreads are in centralized exchanges, because Hex was the first cryptocurrency that they happened to walk into. But you almost need like that ability to interact directly with that person to help walk them through the process, because it is difficult. You know, one of my friends, a real smart guy, business owner, has plenty of money, make sure that he comes over here and has me look over his shoulder when he's making things happen, because he doesn't want to make a mistake. He has actually already made a couple mistakes, you know, and it's like, dude, and now he's afraid, you know, he loves Hex to death, but now he's like afraid to act on his own, you know. And it's like, look, I can't have 20, 30 people coming over here so that I can make a full-time job out of teaching them how to make money.
Yep.
You know? So
Alan Fizza, meh. Thank you for the $5, dude. My friends that sacked for Pulse and PulseX didn't want to stake their Hex for 1 year because it was too long. And here we are 1 year later. I mean, even a year, guys. Like, if you're only putting in $500 and you think that putting it out for a year is going to be okay, like I've had friends kind of message me and be like, hey, I put $500 in and I staked for a year, and I just went to end the stake, and now it's going to cost me more in gas fees than I did with earning my interest. And I'm going to go, yeah, because you only did a year, man. If you're putting in small amounts of money, and I have no idea what the price of Hex is going to do in the next year, so that $500 could be worth $500,000, or it could be worth, you know, $50. I have no idea. But if your time horizon is only 1 year on a small amount of money, then you're really not gonna, you're gonna get wrecked on the Ethereum network. Now, if you do that on PulseChain, maybe you have a better, you're going to have a better chance.
Yeah.
But
Imagine being an Ethereum holder waiting for your 2.0. Oh, wait, Hex. How's
That's
that
gotta
feel?
be.
yeah.
How's that feel?
Thank you for the $5.
Stake for 6 years there, buddy.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, I didn't do anything with Ethereum 2.0.
Oh, you didn't stake any of that?
Dude, I don't do nothing except for a Hex, and
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Somebody,
I have a couple of altcoins now, or
There's an Ethereum
Richard
2.0?
Halt. There's
for-
the small ones. They're
for
coming.
Ethereum users, they've been promised Ethereum 2.0 for what, 6 years now, and they were just
Yeah.
told it's another 6 years. How about
Were
that?
they really?
But all right, guys. Well, that's an hour. We usually only do an hour. So thank you, Johnny, for coming on today. It's been great. We'd love to have you on again because you're a voice of reason with this community. You're somebody that understands a lot more than the average feller. And I think that everybody go join or go follow. Because he doesn't want any people following him. So let's get Johnny
Twitter,
super. So Twitter, it's at CCFX Studios. Go follow him, guys. He's an awesome dude.
It's
As you can see.
Stand by for March through December on the calendar.
And Hexplosive Artist as well. It's Hexplosive Art on Twitter. Go over there and check him out, guys. Mine is at Hexologist31. And subscribe, like, and comment on this channel. And yeah, you guys have anything else?
Oh, I got
talking,
plenty,
Johnny.
but we'll have to wait until next time.
All right. See you guys.